Hello, everyone. Darcenova here. Like I said, I'll review Inuyasha, Affection Across Time. This is the first Inuyasha movie, and the case for this, well, back when they actually released holographic, cases, pretty shiny. You can't get these anymore. Um, this was, released back in 2004 in America and 2001 in Japan. Basically, Inuyasha was so popular at the time that they actually did a theatrical film, which was around 90 minutes, like a normal anime movie. It just and like a typical movie, the animation quality is way higher than the series, but it's not on par with other you know anime works that don't have a manga or whatever series running at the same time. You know, but I digress. The character designs for this are actually different than the series to some degree. I mean, they still look like their anime counterparts, but they don't look exactly like it. The designs are kind of different. These Inuyasha movies, the only one I think that resembles its anime counterpart, I think, is the fourth film, which we'll talk about way down the line. Um, what do I think of this movie? Well, I don't need to talk about the characters because you already know who Inuyasha, Kagome, Moroku, Sango are, and Shippo. There's side characters that appear in this movie: Shishomaru, Kikyo. Naraku is nowhere to be seen. He's only appears in one movie, and that's the next one, which we'll talk about later. What do I think of the movie? Well, the plot. Well, if you've seen other anime-based movies like Naruto, and for example, the plot is kind of generic. Honestly, it's just some evil demon, who wants to take over the world and basically get revenge, on Inuyasha, his father, for what he did to him all those years ago. Mamoru was a pretty boring villain, in my opinion. I mean, I feel like the character himself was out of place in the Inuyasha universe, and I find it hard to believe that someone like him was more powerful than Naraku. I mean, if we were to consider this canon, why didn't Naraku absorb him? He could have became way more powerful, and he wouldn't have no need for those fucking barriers that he uses. Of course, there are some inconsistencies if you were to consider this part of the anime universe. One, Shishomaru doesn't have Tokajin, which is really weird considering this movie would have to take place right after the Battle of Round Tosuke. When Inuyasha learns, the backlash wave, there's no reason he should not have the Tokajin. And for some reason, there are some plot holes. Inuyasha has a hard time using the Wind Scar at this point when Inuyasha have no trouble using the Wind Scar or the Backlash Wave. And there's some of the characterizations of some of the characters are off, like Kikyo. Kikyo is still bitter about her death, even though she, she's nowhere near that in the anime at that point that this movie was shown. It feels like when they were animating this, it was probably sometime towards the end of season one, where that's where all the animators knew of Kikyo that was it. They didn't know anything past that, and they had a vague knowledge of of Inuyasha's next attack, the back Vyuha or backlash race, whatever the fuck you want to call it, depend, and vice versa. So that's probably a minor oversight, I guess. Is this movie worth watching? Well, if you're not an Inuyasha fan, you're not likely going to give a shit about this movie. I mean, it is pretty generic, the plot. The villain is very stereotypical. He's not that interesting. Um, this is a movie more for the fans. And even if you are a fan of Inuyasha, This is only if you're a hardcore fan and you must have everything. Would I watch this movie? Well, I don't know about you, but any Inuyasha fan who's been a fan of this franchise like me has have seen the movies. But if you still haven't seen the movies, I would I would recommend it, but I would just get the Blu-ray set that comes with all the rest of them. Because in my opinion, this is the worst of the bunch. I mean, the plot is stupid. The villain is not that interesting, and some of the characterizations of certain characters are off. But there are some positives I can say. The animation is gorgeous, in my opinion. I mean, this is probably one of the last anime movies that uses the hand drawn style, which is something we don't even see nowadays. And also, I think this the animations is great. Honestly, the music is kind of forgettable. It's not as good as the other movies. It feels like they're just recycled tracks from most of the anime. Honestly, the ending theme song is really good. If you were familiar with the artist, she's also done the third ending theme, Dearest. So yeah, unless you're a fan of the Inuyasha anime, I'd pass this up. It's not. It really isn't worth your time unless you're an Inuyasha fan. I'd give this movie a 2 out of 5 stars. It isn't really that good. Looking back on it, it hasn't really held up, except the animation. Anyway, this is Darth Sinovia, over and out, and see you guys next time in another video. Peace.